that's a lie. I wonder it all the time. A little too often, a little too much. Sitting stuck, thinking thoughts that I could never touch. My head won't ever hush, my heart will never shut.
My name is Kayla. I'm a local singer-songwriter, wordsmith, musician out here in 209 Central Valley. You can find me on social media platforms, Facebook, Instagram. Check out my YouTube channel if you guys want to hear some shit. Being a local musician is really a trip. I feel blessed, honestly, to be a part of this scene. Mostly I'm in the Modesto area. I know the potential that this scene has and all the local artists and musicians out here. I mean, it's mind-blowing, the talent and the potential that it has to build, and just the talent alone in this one little place. Everyone's so focused on their own projects and has their own avenues and their own things going on, and showing support is really important, not only from fans and people locally, but each other. Everyone out there doing music and all of us, we should all be, supporting each other, and it's help me help you, but at the same time you want to be genuine about that. And just watching the scene and like kind of low-key just seeing how it works, man, it really is a trip. People are really talented, and I feel like we should be able to come together more than we actually do around here. I feel like the most important thing for us right now as a community in this area, in the whole 209 Central Valley, wherever, this goes for everybody, any little community, it's going to be a support system. It's going to come from us. It's not going to come from the outside. It has to start from the inside and go out. So I hope that going forward, everyone in the scene can continue to support each other and do it in a genuine way, being real about it. And I think that it'll be game over after that for this whole scene, like taking off that way. Right now, people just know me as a local, live performer. I go out and play shows all over the area, but I don't have a lot of content besides my YouTube page. So this year, I'm definitely getting in the studio. I want to release my album and really work hard towards that and make it something special and important. I think that's why I've waited this long and just kind of built stepping stones, performing live and just kind of, feeling out the scene, getting myself out there, so that this year when I work hard on actually releasing my album, it's something special and it'll be received in the way that I need it to. A lot of people ask me why I don't have content out there. People will see me, oh, where can I get your music? Oh, I don't have any. Well, going into that, I don't want to just release any content. I definitely want to take my time. I don't want to feel rushed. I don't feel like I'm a couple steps behind as far as having content out, because I want it to be special. So I'm definitely taking my time and not rushing anything. I don't want it to just be rushed and I don't want to put out music just because I feel like I have to. I want to, put it out because I put my heart into it, and it was the vision that, I believed in all along. The biggest probably downfall in the last 3 years that I've been doing music was in a time where I kind of got caught up in a lot of personal stuff, and it affected me when I would go out and play shows. I was drinking, there was substances involved, and I was kind of in a state where within myself I wasn't able to hone in on actually being a live performer, being a musician in the area. And I let it hurt me in a couple shows where I was too altered to put on a good show and really be myself. So it's been good to be able to get out of that and since turn a new leaf and be on a new road to where I'm in the perfect place now and not distracted. Moving out of that bad headspace that I was in, I gravitated towards music, which helped me put me back into that. Use music on my recovery, in wellness, and all things in my life, and kind of coming out of an unhealthy, personal space and just clinging onto music and remembering exactly why I was doing it and kind of not getting lost in bad choices was, the most important thing that I could have done, is gravitate towards music and just grow out of that and realize that if you're altered and you're personally not okay in the choices that you're making, you're never going to be able to share, the way that you intend to. The biggest accomplishment for me is the simple things. The little things are huge for me. It doesn't matter how big of a crowd or how, I definitely appreciate all of that, but the little things matter the most to me as accomplishments, as far as feedback that I got from people who my music, inspired them or touched them in a certain way. When I drop an album and people are listening to the lyrics, and people who don't even know me messaging me, telling me, hey, that song really helped me. It was super inspiring. Just getting really genuine positive feedback from people is an accomplishment, and that's pretty much all I look for in what I do anyway. So that's why it means so much. I incorporate a lot of rapping into like my singer-songwriter stuff acoustically. I'll go up and be singing a song acoustically, and all of a sudden I'll break down with the verses and I'm just spitting bars. Like rap music has been a huge part of kind of like who I am now as an artist. I would listen to like Eminem. My brother was huge on him. Like I listen to the old Kanye stuff, and like I would be the kid. I always talk about it. I would be the kid walking to school with my headphones on, listening to Tupac and Biggie Smalls as a child, like 6th, 7th grade, listening to Tupac and Biggie. And that's just something that I carry with me and kind of carries over into what I do now. A lot of what I hear happening to hip hop now is just so different, and I get it's taking on a whole new generation and the culture is completely changing, so the sound is changing. You know, back then it was so simple and it was about the hip hop, it was about the music, it was just so much more real. You know, I love and adore that. I wish that it would come back and that there was more content in like this day and age is rap music. I always try to pour my heart out and like put a good message into everything I write. There's 2 songs that I know like lyrically are really important, which is my song California, which is probably one of the most well-known songs that I do. I wrote that song about my life. It's about struggle and hard times, but it's also about, like, for me, my family was a huge part of getting through all that, and like no matter how bad of a time you have, you remember where you're from and you know, take it for what it's worth, and I appreciate my family, and it's just kind of like, that song was really important. My song Eyes Wide Closed that I recently wrote is another important song, kind of about overcoming anxiety and feeling small. Like some of those lyrics are my favorite. It's the only thing I know is that I don't know anything at all, and that is so important to me. And like a lot of people have given me great feedback on those lyrics. So a lot of times the best songs I've written have come from a place of sorrow and sadness and heartbreak. The best songs, I mean, people will say that, people who write music, you know, when you're low, when you're not in a good place, you write the best material because it just comes from such a different place. There's been times where, you know, I'm having a really shitty day, I want to write a song and I just wrote a great song. There's been times I'm having a really great day or I'm feeling love in any form. Love in any form will inspire me to write. Love about any type of love, you know. So it's grabbing inspiration through any experience that you have and putting it into an art and being able to share. My guilty pleasure music is the cliche. I do binge listen to Ed Sheeran sometimes. I'm not gonna lie, and I thoroughly enjoy it. It's like one of those things where I wouldn't be proud to be like, I just binge listen to every single Ed Sheeran album there is. Like, I don't know, that's kind of lame, but I love it. Dude's hella talented. Another thing is I really love heavy metal music, and like I've been to tons of shows. Like I listen to Black Dahlia Murder and like Dying Fetus, like metal. I mean, go into mosh pits, and that's kind of a side of me that I it's not so much a guilty pleasure as it is like surprising, I guess. Going into a mosh pit is so fun because you're just not thinking, like in that music too, like in that I gather energy from all music. So when I'm listening to like heavy metal, death metal, whatever, and especially if I'm at the show in that energy, man, I would go into the mosh pit with my friends and just, that's it, game over, I'm just fucking shit up. I don't know, that's just the energy, but it's like, it's all in good spirit too. You lose yourself a little bit. It's kind of like dancing, but like aggressively. The first time I survived a mosh pit, I woke up the next day and thought that I needed to go to the hospital. Like, I felt like I got hit by a car. Pretty much had all the symptoms of like a car wreck, whiplash, but all self-inflicted just from just embodying people. Like, it gets pretty violent, but you have to be able to suffer the repercussions. I love and adore rock music. I've always been a rocker. I joined a rock band as the lead singer about a year and a half ago, 2 years, and we're just putting out our album this year. We have hard copies, and within the next few weeks it'll all be available. My band's name is Page 404. It's very different from what I do as a singer-songwriter. I've enjoyed being a lead singer of a rock band. It's provided me with a lot of experience, and I've grown a lot, I feel like. It doesn't sound like me. A lot of people are like, this is what Kayla's doing now? No, it's just like a project I'm doing, and I've had a lot of fun with it. I've had so much fun being in a rock band and being the lead singer. You guys can follow us on social platforms. Page 404 is our name, so look for that coming out. I love writing music that's real. I love writing things that have good content. I don't want to write or share anything that's mindless. So, you know, it's important for me to, when I write a song that I feel, you know, is important or has a great message, that, you know, other people can relate to that, and they tell me that they feel that too. And in writing lyrics, I try to be aware of whatever emotion I'm tapping into. That's why, you know, in writing Eyes Wide Closed, it was more of a, you know, cutting off the bigger picture, and like everything that I say, I mean, you know, I'm not overthinking. You know, when I'm writing music and what I'm sharing is something that I've honed in on, and is a genuine representation of whatever I was feeling in that time. Having content out is really important, and I'm really excited and anxious to finally get content out. I'm one of the only musicians who doesn't have a lot of, I don't have a SoundCloud or Bandcamp or anything. You know, I have my YouTube page and that's about it, and like social media platforms. But I see a lot of the artists out here, you know, dropping their content onto their, you know, SoundCloud, Bandcamp. And that's great, because you need to have stuff out there. This day and age, this generation, everything's at the touch of your hand. If you want to, you know, have access to that, it's all there. But sometimes I feel like people are just putting the content out there, and it's, you know, not kind of getting the recognition or the attention, or it's not getting listened to in the way that it should. And to be really careful about that. Social media and the way technology is working now, it's like that is a huge advantage for us. It's we should be utilizing that, but at the same time, it could really hurt you. You got to be careful, especially if you want to be taken seriously. I know the reason why I'm really careful and kind of standoffish about putting stuff out is just because when I do put stuff out, I want it to be legitimate. You know, I want it to be taken seriously, and I want to do it right. So taking the step forms and just waiting and not trying to rush something, you know, is important. You know, I'm not just going to throw out content, you know, for everyone to have when that's all it's going to be for them to have. You know, it's not going to be something that I put my heart into, and now here it is, and it's important. You know, I have so many influences that it's hard for me to like specifically say one or give credit to anybody as an influence, because it's so vast. I listen to every genre, the best of every genre, in my opinion. It's like there's such an influence, it just collectively that builds. And so it's like a lot of times people don't even know like how to pin me down. You know, am I a rocker? Am I a rapper? Am I a singer-songwriter? Like play acoustic guitar, but rap, write, and do. Like it's such a group of things that there's a perfect balance there. And I don't really know how to put my finger on what I am or like categorize myself, you know, which is good, because I kind of don't want to be categorized. I kind of don't want to fit into any category. I kind of don't want people to be able to figure out what I'm doing. I'm doing like a little bit of everything in my own way. If being hella fake and having time and money and a pretty face is how you make it these days, well, in that case, I don't have what it takes. I just have to approach it in my own way, stay spitting at a fast pace and work until my back breaks. Because I don't get nothing just handed to me. And if you hate the truth, you won't be able to stand me. What do I gotta do to make people a fan of me? Talk about sex, alcohol, drugs, guns, and overused profanities? Too much of that already. I don't see that happening. I'm just a true artist who's trying to paint a masterpiece, a wordsmith just trying to be crafty. And I know I'm not exactly who you would expect to make it, but give me a chance to prove that I'm underestimated, and I won't neglect to take it. You wanna play this like a game? Well, you should check your bases. I don't give a fuck about the fame. I want respect in all the right places. Born to be different, and I'm serving up a plate of something that's not tasteless. My feet hurt from all this dream chasing. I'm sick of living day to day, hearing people saying, keep your head up and be patient. No, fuck that. I've been waiting. I'm always ready for what tomorrow brings. I've been trying to do this for a while. I've just been busy taking care of things. How can I be all I aspire to be when I don't have the means? It's like I know how to fly, but I'm just waiting for my pair of wings. And I don't give a shit if you disagree, because this is who I am and who I've been, and this is who I'm gonna be. If you don't like it, you can feel free to close your eyes or plug your ears, because I'm coming in loud and clear, and I work my ass off to get here. Just to get this far. Just to spit these bars, and just to say I'm following my dreams. I'll keep my conscience clean. I would never sell out, lie, steal, or cheat. My soul knows where it wants to take me. I just follow my feet. Bang on my drum and march to my own beat. I bang on my drum and march to my own beat. I'm banging on my drum and march to my own beat. Building forward, you know, I'm taking baby steps and I'm making silent moves. And, you know, I go out and I play shows live. That's how people know me, as I just perform live. And I want to continue to do that. Just go out, play live shows, have people get to know the real me, and be expecting me to release something. And hopefully, when it finally does come out, I've built myself up to a position where, you know, it'll kind of be hard to ignore.
When you're watching an interview, you know you're watching the interview.
Hi, I'm
you
Kayla.
Know, like, you don't need
and
to...
this is Third Hour Collective.
You know what I mean? Please tell me you're getting this. Okay.
Hey, can we put together a whole blooper?